I'm glad you brought the heat and brought the thunder as well. And it's a good thing you did, because we have an awesome panel for you today. I'm Dan Casey, I'm the senior editor at Nerds.com, but more importantly, I am a Power Rangers fan just like you. Mighty Morphin was my first exposure, and I'm so happy to see so many people here today that are here to nerd out about the Power Rangers, because this is Savant's Power Rangers Toys and Collectibles Power Hour. And I don't know if you know this, but we are nearing a pretty monumental anniversary for Power Rangers. Next year is the 25th anniversary of Mighty Morphin. That is bonkers to think about. It makes me feel old, but in a good way. Yes, clap you should, sir. And we have awesome stuff coming down the line. We can't tell you everything today, especially we don't want to give away all the master plan for the franchise because, you know, you need to leave something to the future. Otherwise, what's the point? But today we have some awesome stuff coming down the line. We have reveals about digital, about toys, about collectibles, all sorts of stuff coming down the pipeline for the rest of 2017 and even some stuff into 2018. And a lot of this stuff is going to be never before seen exclusives. You folks here first are going to see this before anybody else, so please brag to your friends online. Use that hashtag Power Rangers, spread the good word, and just like dunk on your friends all day being like, I saw this first. Sorry guys, I was there. We have an amazing panel here today. Before I introduce them, I just want to say we're going to have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, make sure you think of them now. Then I will indicate later on to respectfully line up and ask them one by one. So yeah, I'm very excited to introduce. Please join me in welcoming. I'm going to start all the way down to my left or right. Kenichiro Kishi, he is the Senior Product Development Manager at, Senior Director of Product Development at Bandai. He's been leading Power Rangers in the US for 4 years now. And growing up in Japan, Ken's favorite Ranger was actually the Ranger Bald Eagle, the Red Ranger from the Sun Vulcan series, which aired in 1982, did not air in the US, but that just shows you what an OG Ken is when it comes to all of them Super Sentai Power Rangers. Joining us as well, we have the one and only Jason Bischoff. He's the Director of Consumer Products for Savant Brands. Jason is overseeing toys, collectibles, and comics for Savant Brands. He has had over 14 years in entertainment work on everything from Ninja Turtles to Wonder Woman to My Current Obsession Overwatch. He is also a lifelong Power Rangers fan. He's seen every single episode to date, with Power Rangers in space being his favorite. Any Power Rangers in space love? Any space fans? Yes. Don't be shy. If you like something, prove for it. That's why we're here at Comic-Con. Also, we have here today the president of Pop Culture Shock, Jerry Macaluso. Sorry, I skipped over. Apologies. I'll get back to you in just a second, sir. Jerry's worked in special effects for the. He worked on the very first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He's been designing toys and collectibles for 20 years. He built Alpha 5. Yeah. Without him, the Rangers would have been in a lot of trouble, so thank you for that. And now he's making all sorts of amazing stuff. We're going to go back in time a little bit because we're at Comic-Con, pop culture can play with the timeline. Please join me in welcoming Steve Kuroki, the creative director of Enway. And Steve is currently overseeing web design and art for Power Rangers Legacy Wars. Now, he's had 16 years in game development, primarily working on action games for LucasArts and Sony, which is great because he's been able to channel that love of fighting games into making Legacy Wars as awesome as it is today. We're going to have some fun reveals about that coming up just in a minute. And now, last but certainly not least, please join me in welcoming Ryan Peterson. He's the project designer for Fisher Price, designing preschool concepts, vehicles, and figures for the Imaginext brand. And with 10 plus years of Imaginext, Ryan is a collector and fan himself. He's very proud of what his work does in helping build that parent-child relationship, which is awesome. That's the cool thing about Power Rangers, especially now that it is approaching a very momentous milestone. It's something that adults can enjoy and then they can share with their kids. So I'm very stoked about that. There's something for everyone, all generations. So let's kick things off with Enway. I want to find out what's going on with all the awesome reveals of Power Rangers Legacy Wars. So Steve, I will pass it off to you. Take it away.
Yeah. Great to be up here working on this Power Ranger game. It's been one of the greatest things that's happened to my gaming career for sure. When we first came up with the idea of coming up with just a fighting game alone, that was fun on its own for a mobile game. But after meeting Jason and the Saban team and putting the Power Rangers characters, the Rangers and villains together to be able to fight against each other for one. Is an opportunity that's never happened before. I think people thought we were crazy, but once they saw it in action, it was a really good experience to play, and it was really fun to design. We're constantly updating the game. It's live right now. If you haven't played it, it's on iOS and Android. You always can pick it up out of your pocket, play. One of the things that we wanted to make sure with this game was to create something where players can learn about the Rangers, fight with the villains, and play for free. Everyone can play it. We had over 18 million downloads around the world, 150 million battles, which is pretty amazing. People really get a really up close look at all the Rangers and villains, and it's been awesome.
Who's your favorite character to play so far?
I'm a Lord Zed guy.
No!
Oh, that guy.
See, we actually have a pretty killer video you put together. Why don't we crack that in the room?
And you know you're going to be waiting in a lot of lines this weekend, and y'all have cell phones presumably. You can just download it and play it in line. All H will go by in no time at all.
Just to kind of jump in here quickly, so we had kind of an announcement a couple days ago. I don't know if anybody caught it, but we are introducing for the first time ever our Boom Comics characters, specifically Lord Draken and Black Dragon, into the continuity of Legacy Wars. So with that, we kind of teased a few days ago some still images that Team Enway put together, Steve and TK and Jesse and all the crew over there. We love you guys. They put together some really killer still images, but they reserved some behind-the-scenes look at the development of those characters specifically for you here. So why don't we take a peek at Lord Draken and Black Dragon?
Lord Draken. The evil and maniacal Power Ranger controlling the Black Dragon. Addicted to power, Draken used his knowledge of the them in his world. He quickly conquered the Earth in this alternate universe as the corrupted version of Tommy Oliver.
So normally when we go through the development process, just to kind of give you a sense of what it's like on the Saban side of things, Team Enway, and in this case, in collaboration with Boom Studios, really, busted their butts to put together some really gorgeous models. So this is ultimately how we review things internally with folks like Jerry and Jessica from our CP team who are here, and a couple folks from our production crew like Brian and Melissa. We actually review these models in terms like this in the T-pose and making slight edits. I think with Black Dragon to date, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, but it's probably the model that we iterated upon the most. Is that correct? And partially that was caused by the fact that we have this gorgeous comic that's coming out monthly, and Black Dragon has been drawn in lots of kind of subtly different ways over the past 12, 13 issues. So we had to kind of capture the right details that we really felt personified the character when we did solidify it into a final model. So that's Black Dragon. We might actually have a turn on that guy. Yeah, so check it out. Pretty rad. And then let's check out, Lord Draken. So obviously very key to the franchise going forward. A character we are infinitely proud of and introducing just a handful of months ago. And Steve, you want to tell us a little bit about what it was like to put together this character for the game?
Oh yeah, everyone knows who's played the game. We've come up with many different versions of Tommy. So this is actually one of our favorite ones. When Jason said, let's get this going, it was a no-brainer for us. The personality of Lord Draken was all about the fury. So, the design and his attacks that you saw in the videos were all about fast action, quick combos. Designing the attacks are always really fun inside the studio. It was a little bit different with these guys since we didn't really have any footage, live action stuff. So we're pulling some combination talks with Boom Studios and pulling from the comics some of their key poses. Part of the process of this guy as well as Black Dragon, it's the constant back and forth. Originally we lost a detail on one of the shoulder blades that Jason and Jerry would catch, and you go back and forth, and it's been really fast turnaround actually. It can be almost like we come in the morning at 9, send out the reviews, get feedback around like 1 p.m., work on it and send it back out before the end of the day. So we really get these guys out. You can see Lord Dragon doesn't skip leg day there.
Why don't we see some turns? I think we've got good turns. And what's awesome about this is, again, in collaboration with Boom, we actually had Kyle Higgins, who's certainly a notoriety probably in this room, our writer on our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, definitely contribute not only towards the character moveset, but ultimately some of the approvals process. So again, we're kind of at an embarrassment of riches for crazy, awesome new Mighty Morphin content, and we're stoked to bring it to you in the game. Alright, so why are we here? We're here to reveal crazy secret stuff, right? We want to show you guys a behind-the-scenes peek at some of the things that are coming out in the next few weeks across a slate of talent here. And Steve, why don't you tell us about the first one?
Yeah, so this is the movie Putty from the movie that came out this year. He was actually going to be one of our first characters, but as you can see, the rig or the skeleton is pretty complex, with 3 arms and 2 heads. Really fit the mold of all the other ones, so it took a little bit more time to put this together. The animations, once you guys see it, it's really fun. He's messing with the head on the shoulder and doing a lot of things with his arms, throwing pieces off his body. It's a pretty crazy looking guy. I mean, the original concepts that we had actually had more of the movie set pieces built into the body. Things like stop signs and pieces from Angel Grove. But because he would appear in different arenas, we actually had to trim that down and just kind of go with a neutral design for him. But he'll be coming out soon.
And some of you, more of the promiscuous type in the audience, you already know about the movie Putty because you data mined it a couple months ago. So that secret is kind of a soft secret, but the next one, don't show it yet, Becky. Yeah, cool. The next one, just for the sake of saying it, will kind of close the Mighty Morphin chapter for a while in the game. So I know some of you are going to be excited to see kind of where we go next. So this will kind of be the last beat for Mighty Morphin for a little while. Why don't we go and take a peek? It seems like the only right and fitting character for that beat. So enjoy. You can't have an All-Stars game without Ninjor, right? So we're stoked to bring it to you. Basically, between Dragon, Black Dragon, Ninjor, and the movie Putty, that'll essentially kind of complete this next month's of fighter reveals. I think we've got them in turns too. Pretty rad. So the N-Way crew is definitely hard at work in defining the moveset.
Making sure he looks really awesome.
So we're stoked to bring Ninjor to you guys in just a few weeks. And again, that will be kind of like the formal close of Mighty Morphin for a little while. And for those in the room that care about it, it will kind of be like a soft retire of Tommy for a while as we focus kind of going forward on some crazy new next steps. Next month, just to tease out, we're not going to tell you who the characters are this time, but we're going to be kind of visiting more of that Disney era stuff a little bit. So stand by.
All right, so everyone's here to see the Power Rangers stuff. We also have some prizes for you. So everyone in the audience is going to get the Alpha 5 card. You could go to the game, and we're going to have a Q&A, and some of the top questions will also get the Black Dragon. So in order to access these characters, when you get these, you download the game, of course, get the tutorial. In the top right corner, we have a little gear symbol. You hit that, and there's a redeem code button. Pop the code in there, and you'll be able to get these guys.
Thank you, Edwin.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve. Quick question before we move on. Who of these new characters is your favorite to play so far?
I'm an Alpha 5 fan. He's very, plays different, got a lot of long limbs, the uppercut's really good. But for me, fighting game style, I'm more of a big body guy too. Zang, kind of fits what Black Dragon is like. And it's really hard to pick one, but you know, I am right in the know. I'll say that.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, let's keep things moving along with Ryan over at Imaginext. They have some awesome stuff coming down the pipeline. Ryan, what do you guys have in store?
Well,
Hello.
hello. I'm really excited to be here representing Imaginext for Power Rangers. And I loved watching the show when I was a kid. All the Rangers, the evil aliens, the Zords, the Megazord battles. And I still love watching the show. And I really love watching the show with my kids, like you said before. That's what I think is so great about our partnership with Power Rangers is that parents like myself who grew up watching the show now have kids that are the perfect age to play with our toys. I never had any of the original toys when I was a kid, but I am a toy collector and I've been able to add some of those to my collection over the years. And everyone I work with is the same way. We're all big toy guys and we love going to the comic book store every week, checking out all the stores, you know. And I gotta say, when we design our toys, we design them for our own collection first, and we make sure that the kids today, and including our own, love them as much as we do. And
So let's talk a little bit about this current line. What do we have currently in the Imaginext lineup that you're excited about?
maybe we could go to the next slide and check out the. Nope, go back. So what I love about this current line is the different scales that we get to play with within Power Rangers. So you have the evil aliens at the figure scale, and then you can make Goldar grow to the larger scale there at the $24.99 price point, and battle him against our Zords. And the remote control Dragon Zord is very fun. You can actually control him with the Dragon Dagger. And then it goes all the way up to the 29-inch tall Megazord that you can just smash that $24.99 Goldar with.
Just for the sake of asking the room, has anybody seen the RC Dragon Zord in action? If you have, just raise your hand real quick. Okay, the rest of the room hasn't. And this is kind of like an informal Comic-Con challenge to you. Please do yourself a favor, go check it out on YouTube. The RC Dragon Zord is perhaps one of my most favorite toys, like, period. Irregardless of Power Rangers, just, I've been in the industry a long time now, sad to say. It's really one of my most favorite toys to come out of the last decade, not for any other reason other than the fact that it's very intuitive, it's very, very cool. It's controlled by the frickin' Dragon Dagger, which is amazing. And I kind of half-joked last year that we should have had the Green Ranger full costume running around, like, controlling him, just kind of moving him through the crowd. Otherwise, nobody would have seen him, unfortunately, but it really is something else. So check it out. It actually, the cockpit mode breaks open out of the chest. You can implant the thing, and then all 5 of the red points on the Dragon Zord's chest actually fire as missiles. It's all RC. It's all awesome.
I appreciate you saying that. It's definitely one of my favorite toys I've ever worked on, probably. Definitely getting all the sound effects just right in that toy was a challenge working with our team, and we just wanted to make sure it was perfect. Now, I'd like to tell you that we're going to design a giant Titanus that the Megazord would fit in with lasers and motorized, but that thing is huge. But what we are going to do is make a new scale that's a tiny Megazord, figure scale Megazord. This guy's super fun, yeah, the details are awesome. But now, since we have our tiny Megazord, now we can battle the guys in our line like King Sphinx and other characters that we might not make as huge as our other Megazord to battle. And it also gives us the opportunity to make a Titanus for this guy. So this guy's awesome, super cool details. It's got a power pad on Titanus, and a power pad is something we have in all of our toys that you either push it or turn it and it activates the feature. So on this toy in particular, you put Megazord on the power pad, push down, his head and neck will lunge forward and launch the projectile at the same time from that the dragon shield in the front here.
Yeah, check it out.
Here's a quick video to show you. So you also get the extra action of the mechanic of that bolt when you roll it around. So in addition to support this new Megazord scale, we have one new figure packing spring, and that is Thunder Megazord and Piranha's head. So these guys are super awesome too. Very cool details. I love Piranha's head, the big old mouth on the front of him. And Thunder Megazord will come with his sword as well, and he has a place to store the sword on the side of him. So we'll have a lot more new exciting things coming out for 2018 in the fall that we can't show you yet. But we also brought some Dragon Zord posters that we're going to hand to everyone on your way out.
It's a good thing you guys have this gigantic comic on the back Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let's keep things moving on to Jerry. Tell us what you have coming down the pipeline for Pop Culture Shock.
Hi everybody. It's pretty exciting to be here, as one of the first jobs I ever had in the entertainment industry was working on the first series of Mighty Morphin. I did build Alpha 5 and, fixed a lot of things that came from Japan. I remember Goldar was like just a disaster. But that was a long time ago. So it's really exciting to work on the collectibles now for Power Rangers. Our first piece up is, let's see. Okay, so these are our mini busts, the classic line. So we've got our Pink Ranger, our Green Ranger, and our Black Ranger. They are estimated to come to retail in the fall. We have big plans for this line to even extend beyond Mighty Morphin. I mean, we really want to get all these characters, well, there's so many, but as many as we possibly can into minibus form.
These are the ones that were on display at WonderCon, right?
Yes, we had the final painted ones on display at WonderCon. But before we sent them to China, we never took any pictures of the painted ones. So these are digital renders of the sculptures. But yes, in the fall, we'll be releasing the final product. And these are some movie mini busts. We've got our Red Ranger and Rita, of course. Same timeline with these, fall. We showed a painted version, I think we showed a painted version of the Red Ranger at WonderCon, but we had not had Rita done yet. I think they came out pretty cool.
Forgive me if I'm spoiling something, but you guys were looking at alternate arms too on these guys. Is that still the plan?
Yes, we are, but well, I'll just give it all away. The alternate arms are going to end up being con exclusives.
Oh, okay, cool.
At certain cons, New York, WonderCon, San Diego, etc. So we'll do some switch out parts so they're a little different. We have Rita holding her staff and things like that. This is our life-size White Ranger bust. And I mean, it's something like that, I think. Really high-end piece. The morpher lights up. Limited to only 200 pieces. It is currently up for pre-order on our website and will be shipping early next year. And the Red Ranger, which is on display at our booth 4734 this year here in San Diego. Again, the morpher lights up, and it's just really exciting to do this, especially at life size, because again, going back to me working on the first couple seasons, when we got the helmets in from Japan, they were a mess, and what we ended up having to do was mold them, cast them in clay, repolish them, and remold them and remake them. So it was like this 26-year flashback. Okay, what is next? Okay. Next we have, this is our Green Ranger quarter scale statue, it's pretty epic. It's at our booth right now at San Diego, downstairs. You can see it in person. When we designed it, I don't think we realized how big that thing was going to be. It's 28 inches tall and 33 inches long, I believe. I mean, it's like this. So we don't have a price point yet on it. We barely got the prototype done for the con, which is why we're only showing the designs. It'll have switch out arms, which is cool, with flute and everything. And we may, now that we've seen it in person, we may design a simpler base as an alternate to help it become more affordable to more fans, because as it stands, and if you see it at the booth, I don't even want to think about what it's going to cost. and we have way more quarter scale plan, and we really want to dig into it too.
Well, and just for the sake of saying it, we are, again, we're just so grateful to have partners like PCS and obviously everybody on the panel, where they're thinking about creative first, right? They want to make sure that it's the biggest, best version of what it could be, and it's the most faithful rendition of what ultimately the content is. So we're not really thinking about necessarily the price point first, it's just make it awesome, right? And let everything else kind of be defined in orbit around just simply the notion of make it awesome. This is clearly a testament to that philosophy.
Yeah. JC's absolutely right. I mean, most of our products are sort of creative first, cost second. I mean, they're usually pretty high end and no expense spared, and whatever it ends up being, it ends up being. And we just hope the fans, who can swing it, buy it. So far, we've been pretty fortunate on that. And as a fan, when am I going to get to do this again? So if I'm going to do it, we've got to do it, right?
I think Jerry just had a guilty confession that he just made this piece for himself.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. And here's our little Dracon mini bust. This is the final finished version. It's on display in our booth downstairs. It came out really cool. As everyone else, I took an instant liking to this character, and it's a great design. It's really dynamic. It's got a lot of power behind it, and we turned this one around in record time for us. We as a company full of artists who put the creative first, we tend to take our time. But on this one, we just had to move, and I'm really happy with it. If you go downstairs, you can check it out. And as far as release, because we just finished the prototype, it's more likely spring of next year for release on that.
Perfect for the 25th.
Yeah.
Awesome. These are so cool, especially I need to clear desk space for that Green Ranger because, oh my god, that sounds enormous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I did it. But, yeah, it's really, I mean, if you could, check it out because it's really impressive.
Of the figures in bust that you showed us today, which is sort of the most challenging from a design perspective?
The most challenging thing is when we do a character, we try to do the ultimate version of that character. So, we're sitting around thinking, we don't get a year or two, we don't want to go back and, oh, you know what, I wish I did him on the head of dragons or whatever. And so there's a lot of heated discussion as to what is going to make the right thing. We were really split on the base of the Green Ranger. Do we put him on the head? Because that's correct. But then, to have it in scale at all, that head would be like 2 of these tables or something. So, and then we thought just a section of the head isn't going to, it's just not going to have a presence that the tail ends up having, even though that's not show correct. It just, as an artistic expression, we felt that works the best. So just coming up with that concept on the set. The mini busts are much easier.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Now, Jason, I know that you have a few highlights. What's coming on the line for Funko?
Yeah, let's talk about Funko. So, the first thing we'll just kind of highlight is we've been stoked on this relationship. They've been really great with everything over the last year and a half or so. We've done a lot, if you'll believe it. We've done 20 pops, I think, in the last year and a half alone. So we're really having a lot of fun and doing some cool new stuff. We were super. There we go. Sorry.
needed the sound.
I forgot the juju. Here we go. So 6-inch oversized Megazord is available now. This kind of came out of a awesome, nice, good grab. So this came out of this just really brilliant opportunity. This was not necessarily originally intended to be a retail product. This is purely something that came out of a desire, out of a very particular partner, Funko's Toy Tokyo. They just said, hey, we love it, we want to make it happen, anything to make it happen, what can we do? We said yes. So Toy Tokyo is selling it here on the show floor, if I'm not mistaken. You got it at Toy Tokyo, not Funko, correct? You got it at Funko. Okay, so it is a shared cloud exclusive, so that means there are, I guess, 2 destinations here where you can pick it up. The Funko store and the Gaslamp?
No, right here.
Right here, okay, awesome. So, Funko store here, or at Toy Tokyo, you can get them while supplies last. Super rad. Next guy is, this is something that, again, seems like an obvious variant that we could do based solely on a retailer demand. So, an incredible partner of ours, FYE, said, hey, we want something that we can own that can definitely be ours and people will be geeked up to see. So, kind of a no-brainer, 1+1, we put the red Tyranno Ranger with the Dragon Shield. So that is available now. You should be able to pick it up online, and I've even seen some floating around the show floor. So, should be here, check it out. That being said, we're not going to be necessarily revealing any additional images on Funko, but we do have some news. And that news is you guys showed up in droves for one particular line that we did this last year. One we're really crazy about, Pint-Sized Heroes. Some of you have seen that. I think we had 16 to collect in the first series. Well, I'm very proud to announce that we are officially doing a second series of Pint-Sized Heroes, which are going to be available next spring. So expect some pretty crazy stuff there. We might even bring back that Dragon Zord piece that you could only get in the t-shirt combo pack, but definitely some unexpected combos in that blind bag. So stand by, we'll see in just a few months.
Fantastic, thank you so much, Jason. Very neat things moving, going on to Power Rangers Master Toys partner Bandai. So Ken and Jason, I believe you guys have some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline for us. So,
yeah, Ken and I are going to kind of tag team this one. The first thing I'm going to kind of throw out there is just a general reminder for you guys is that we collectively, everybody on the panel except for maybe Dan, is working tirelessly, right, to make sure that we're hitting all the right notes, that we're servicing you guys in the absolute best possible way. And we always want to make sure that we're chasing the best and possible designs and making the best and possible choices across the board. And just keep in mind that, like, not everything is for everybody, you know? Something, but everything is for somebody. And the reason why I say that is, like, we're constantly having to chase all sorts of stuff. There's folks in the audience that are great partners of ours, like Betsy. You know, we have to take retail stuff into consideration. For as much as we can create amazing things, we also have to find ways to sell them. So sometimes it becomes a little bit of a back and forth. It's a dialogue, right? We have to work actively with our community and also with our retail partners. So we're always trying to make the best possible choices, taking that into context. That being said, we've got some amazing stuff to show you with this section in particular. So why don't we kind of take a look at what's out at retail right now? So these are our Comic-Con exclusives. Ken, can you tell us a little bit about where you can find them and more?
Are we guys exclusive yet? Nobody's got exclusive.
And has anybody gotten any exclusives?
Not yet.
Nice.
Back there.
I see somebody pointing to you on that bag. Nice.
Okay, so we got 3 exclusives this year at San Diego Comic-Con. The first one is Tokyo by Now Megazord, which is Toma, who is a Japanese toy designer. Toma designed Megazord. The black and gold special edition, only for San Diego Comic-Con, $60. And then the next one, the middle one, is the movie Megazord. The full articulated Megazord and special paint-ups only for San Diego Comic-Con as well.
So this was originally only available in the Toys R Us release of the Legacy movie figs, and we thought we'd kind of bundle it together and make its own standalone item and plus up the deco a little bit. So it's really rad. Check it out.
And then the last one is the biggest item, $100. We made only a few this year. And then special sound from Zio, which is totally different from the Communicator, which we already sold. And then 24K gold-plated album and special case.
And you got one for me, right?
Did you get it?
I haven't yet, but I hope to. I hope to. So the Jenny Coin set, fan demanded, so we definitely heard the call and went to arms. So the Jenny Coin set, as you may or may not recall, was from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, and then premiered in, I believe, it was season 3 of Mighty Morphin, if I'm not mistaken. So stoked to bring these to you. These are Legacy Morpher compatible.
Yeah.
This guy. So how many of you have actually seen this in person? Okay, some of you may have seen it at Power MorpherCon? Yeah, last year. Right. I recognize you. You're amazing. Okay, so this is essentially coming out now, right, Ken?
No, pretty much now, yeah.
Okay, so it's just shipping now. It is pretty hefty, I can tell you. Generally speaking, I'd say it's about 6 pounds, 4 ounces. No, I don't really know. But what's rad about this is if you can't see it there, it does have what we would consider to be a safe blade while still retaining kind of that high metallic look. So this is something you can definitely bring to a convention. You're not going to get stopped at the door. They'll probably put a little orange tag around it though. That being said, why don't we give you guys kind of a sense of the sound effects that are baked into this? So.
Actually, I worked with our QA section a lot to make this toy. They told me it's almost like a weapon. We can't make a weapon as a toy maker, but it's a toy. So what's hard to negotiate those guys. And then I think this is most of the crazy stuff I ever made. But being crazy as a toy maker is a not bad thing.
So the movie coins. This is something that we definitely mentioned a number of months back. Some of you may have caught the article specifically coming out of New York Toy Fair. But these are Legacy Edition movie coins. Pretty slick. These are as faithful as it comes to movie accuracy as we possibly can bring you. So they are, these coins were made with a very specific technical process for the film. It's essentially a bas-relief encapsulated in a lens-type shape. I know that sounds very designy and technical, but we faithfully recreated as best we could for the Legacy Collectible version. And what's rad is, if I'm not mistaken, and Ken, please correct me, and I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, but the coins, the special box that they come in, the box, does it still...
Yeah.
It still illuminates. So the box itself will actually illuminate the coins. It's a beautiful prestige box. You're never going to want to get rid of it. It's the perfect way to display. And you can just kind of fire it on and get a sense of the Morphin grid glowing from within. So pretty stoked. These are coming out still this year.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And if we weren't arming you enough with actual coins tethered to the Morphin grid, why not just outfit you with a true helmet straight? So some of you may have seen the Red Ranger Mighty Morphin helmet that we did. We released late last year, early this year. This kind of continues that tradition. So same price point. It's essentially cos wear, right? It's a great display item, but it's also something you can just kind of pop on and wear to an event. Can you tell us how it works functionally, Ken? Like, how do you...
Yeah, so basically this one includes a display stand, so you guys can enjoy it as a display piece. And then also, once you go to Comic-Con, MorphCon, some other event, you can actually wear it.
Oh, slick. So you'll catch me wearing this at tomorrow's Boom Comics. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to be actually wearing it tomorrow. But there's a Boom Comics panel tomorrow, so definitely check it out. All right. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. This is why a lot of you are in the room, I get the sense. So we want to show you some of the crazy stuff that we're making for the 25th anniversary, right? And let's start with these guys. So, kind of coming off of the successes of what we've seen with the movie Zords specifically, we kind of sold it in a slightly different format, right? For those of you that came for the individual movie Zords, you kind of saw that they were sitting in their own tray, right? So we wanted to do something that was a little bit more in that line. So think of these like, it's like an ultimate action figure version of the classic Zords, right? So we're taking a 2-inch fig, it's individually articulated, it'll actually sit within these broader, actual fake versions of the Zords. Now these aren't meant to be like clicked and combined to truly create a Megazord. These are actually meant to be standalone, either display or figural pieces. So these are going to be coming out, I believe, spring of next year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. So the first two in the offering will be obviously T-Rex and Saber-Tooth Tiger. Let's talk about legacy things. A lot of phones starting to raise in the room. So,
I like your reaction.
yeah. The spring 2017 line is out there, and we are, again, so grateful, so stoked that you guys are supporting this line. This is definitely something we're trying to double down on and do some bigger stuff with. We're making a couple changes, couple tweaks here and there based on fan feedback. We're also adjusting the character selection a little bit, and you'll kind of see that in just a second. But basically, you saw Spring 2017 revealed at Power Morphicon last fall. And then more specifically through groups like MMPR Toys on YouTube, like Power Rangers Now and Token Nation. You guys have been great at covering some reveals. So if you didn't already know, the fall assortment here is the 3 Zeo figs, so gold, yellow, and green. And then we're also kind of starting into our Dino Thunder segment with red and blue. Build-a-figs for these are perhaps the most obvious. So with Zeo, you're going to be completing the Zeo Megazord. You can see those downstairs right now, correct, Ken? Yep. Okay. And then with Dino Thunder, what's the build-a-figure?
Dino Thunder Megazord.
Dino Thunder Megazord. So that'll actually be broken into 5 pieces. 5 pieces. So let's start talking about future waves. So spring 2018, perhaps this is obvious, perhaps it isn't, but we're going to complete the Zeo team and complete the Zeo Megazord. And then again, going into Dino Thunder, we'll kind of round out the selection with yellow and black. And then going to summer 2018, there's been a lot of like, oh, but complete this! And I'm like, yes, we know, we're hearing you, we love you guys. So why don't we reveal the first slot for 2018? So Dino Thunder White will be the 5th piece for the Dino Thunder Megazord, which we're stoked on. And then the next one was like, oh, you can't have 5 Rangers without completing a team, so why don't we go and throw In Space Silver in there, which we're stoked on. Now, In Space Silver will actually kick off the first in a new Build-A-Figure concept. This is kind of where we're breaking the mold a little bit. Where we don't have to feel so married to the idea of always doing Megazords. We can do different stuff, right? So we won't reveal what that big Build-A-Figure is for just a couple slides here. You'll see in just a second. But really, let's talk about the next 5 slides. Becky, let's just do it. Surprise, surprise. So, we are bringing in the Psycho Rangers officially for the first time in plastic ever in the franchise history. This was not even done in Japan in its original form. We are so honored and excited to bring the Psycho Rangers in for the 25th anniversary. And we actually, so in this case, believe it or not, silver, In Space Silver, red, black, yellow, and blue will complete the Build-A-Figure, because pink comes with a special individual accessory. And you'll actually see those in orthographic in just a second. So why don't we cue up the orthos. So, again, this is kind of a behind-the-scenes look. Ken, can you tell us what we're looking at?
So the basic drawing, these drawings are done in Japan, and it's helped as well in Japan as well. And the hardest part was to make a decal, and he's got a whole bunch of paint-ups on the body, so making those decal precisely in mass production would be very hard.
So this is ultimately how we see it when we are reviewing stuff. So let's go to the next one. So you can see here on In Space Silver, he does absolutely come with a Super Silverizer, and he does come with a Build-A-Figure part. Again, we're going to hold on what that Build-A-Figure is in just a second. So Psycho Red, right, will be part of that initial offering for spring. Does come with a Psycho Blade, and also a Build-A-Figure part. Psycho Blue with a Psycho Axe. And Psycho Pink will actually be coming with the Savage Sword. For those of you that recall, Savage Sword specifically made its infamous debut in Lost Galaxy. It's kind of one of those mythologized artifacts of the universe, known most notoriously for essentially leading to the defeat of Kendrix Morgan. Right, so we wanted to kind of honor that special history between Psycho Pink and what she means to the franchise by doing the Savage Sword specifically with her. So again, no Build-A-Figure with Psycho Pink because she comes with that additional accessory. And here's our Build-A-Figure. So again, we're Build-A-Figure Alpha 5, so classic Mighty Morphin Alpha 5. Again, in space silver, and 4 of the Psychos will complete this particular Build-A-Fig. The reason why is just, why not? Right? It's the 25th anniversary. Psycho Rangers is like, even though it's not directly tethered to the content, it is very much so an integral piece of the history. This is a great way to kind of round out the collection. Cool. We've got 2 more reveals for you, and then we'll take a couple questions. So, how do we do this again? There's just, all right. There's only one way to say it, guys. Stronger than before. So this has been a big part of your fan feedback, and certainly the next step, an obvious step for us as we continue our legacy line. We're excited about this, and we're really stoked to bring this to you next spring. And but that's the thing, though, right? It's like, how can we just call that the end of the panel? Right? There's more to show, obviously, right? There's more, right? There's got to be more. So we have one final item, and again. If this year's Comic-Con exclusives weren't an obvious point as to where we are going, here's the next big thing to look forward to. We're stoked about this. Yes. The Golden Power Staff will be the next major roleplay item for us in the Legacy Collection. You can't have a Zeonizer without the Golden Power Staff because it's the only way to complete the team. It's the only way to fully morph into that Ranger team. So. We're again very stoked on what's happening with Bandai, and yeah, it's the latest.
That is awesome. So many awesome things coming down the pipeline. Nice. We're just going to put out some money now because I'm going to be dead broke by next time I come forward with things coming out. Now, before we go, we have time for a few questions. You there up front, sir. Just hold on a second. What is your name and what is your question?
You're looking for Dragon or Black Dragon in toys? The answer is it's super awesome stuff, and we are absolutely discussing it, but nothing to confirm at this time.
Thank you. Yes, you sir. What is your name and what is your question?
My name's Sam. I was wondering, with the Psycho Rangers, they came from in space. Why did you guys go with Alpha 5 instead of Alpha 6?
Super great question. In fact, we had originally slated another character independent of the Alphas to be the Build-A-Fig for that concept. Ultimately, we moved away from it because, again, it's part of like that retailer pieces part of the discussion. Sometimes they feel more comfortable in carrying these kinds of items when we do tether it to a more well-known character. So in this case, to kind of help satisfy that part of the conversation, we said we would do Alpha 5. Hey, real quick, it was Ares, and then you are, sir?
Sam.
Sam, come on up, guys. So Ares, why don't you take home? And then Sam, do you have everything on DVD?
No.
Would you like it on DVD?
I don't have DVD.
You don't have DVD? That's okay.
I stream. When you guys put it on Netflix, it was awesome. Except for the first one.
How about 3 legacy figs and a Ninja Jenny set?
Hey guys, this is super awesome, some black items as well. Sweet curiosity often pays off, folks.
Dang, I should have came earlier. So my question is for Steve. I want to thank everybody at over here for coming out in a second. But anyway, I played Power Rangers Legacy. Are you guys thinking about integrating Zords into the game? And I'm just saying, thinking about it, I don't know.
Security.
Thinking about it almost every day we come into work. So I would say we would love to add them to the game and just keep playing, and hopefully one day they'll be in there.
All right, so what is your name and what is your question?
Hi, my name is Michael, and I read that Power Rangers figures was the #1 selling toy during the movie release. So I was wondering if you guys, I was wondering if you guys happen to be designing the toys for the sequel by any chance?
Sequel of what?
Power Rangers.
Of movie-specific stuff?
So is there a sequel?
This is solely a Toys and Collectibles panel. I love the backhanded question. That's super awesome of you to ask. We're not discussing any of that kind of stuff here, but very innovative question, which deserves an innovative prize. So come on up, man. Grab a Black Dragon. I got something else for you.
All right, you sir, what is your name and what is your question?
Hi, my name is Deepak, and I just want to say I'm from India, and you have a huge fan base there as well.
Awesome.
Imagine more from Power Rangers. So my question is, right now it's been 25 years since the franchise has been going on. So what are the challenges you face in terms of keeping the show like for the old fans like us, who've been watching from before, such that it tends to our needs as well as us, because you have so many new superhero stuff going on right now, such that you get new fans as well into it, such that it tethers to both generations, if I'm saying that correctly. So what challenges do you face, and how exactly do you tackle those such that it's kept relevant to both generations?
Well, everybody sit down. This is going to be an hour and a half diatribe on how we do this. But the short answer is we just continue to push the envelope, both with what we're doing in the TV show with our incredible partners in production, and then trying to reinvent it as much as we can with things like the Boom Comics. And that's a perfect way to kind of segue. Check out the Boom Comics panel. We'll have more to discuss there. Come and see me. And before we go, guys, we just want to give a huge thank you to Dan Casey from Nerdist. Thank you, so great. Dan, would you come over here and kneel real quick, please?
I would love to.
Dan Casey of Nerdist. We present you this Tyranno Blade as a thing.
Folks, don't thank me. Thank these amazing people that make the Toys and Collectibles we love so much. Do it one more time with these incredible panelists. As we head into this 25th anniversary year, we have so many amazing things coming down the pipeline. Thank you so much to Comic-Con for having us. Thank you, more importantly, to all of you for being here. We really appreciate it. Have a great Comic-Con, and until 2018, it's Morphin' time. Have a great day.